had 4-2,
right.
And a fight breaks out in front of our net. Aaron Miller got in the fight with one of their guys, and we go down on a 2-on-1. Whistle blows. Yves Sereau has the puck, hasn't scored a goal all year, and he doesn't hear the whistle, so he continues on, and he pounds the best shot of his life. The goalie moves over, he scores. He thinks, wow, what a great shot, and the whole bench that watched him make the play were rolling on the floor, and most of the guys were watching the fight beginning, but the guys on the bench were just, he comes to the bench and everybody's laughing, and he was, he went along with the joke at that time.
Still looking for that first goal, though, isn't he?
Yeah. We gave it to him, though. He got credit for it.
John, when you're working with somebody like Patrick Waugh, at this point in his career, because obviously he's one of the best of all time, what can you tell him?
I think pretty much with Patrick, it's all maintenance. You know, you want to keep doing the good habits he's had, and you know, when he's like the last few games he played, he was maybe a little tired, and that's why we gave them those 5 days off, and you know he's going to be ready to go tonight and be sharp.
Yeah, because he'd be the kind of guy, obviously, he's very intense, and he's been there so many times before. It would be an interesting thing to see how you would work with him.
You know, I don't know if fans may know this, but Joel used to play for the Colorado Rockies years ago. What was it like to go from those days when there was, I mean, great fans, but not many of them, and the team didn't play that well for most nights, and then you come back and you win the Stanley Cup? What was that like?
It was a great experience winning the Cup, but when I think back being with the Rockies back in the early 80s, it was a great place to play. Everybody liked being here. We weren't successful on the ice, but it was fun being here. We had a decent team. I was young at that stage of my career, but
You're saying you're not now.
But the Rocks, the building wasn't that full, but man, the crowds were great. Yeah. But obviously now, every night, the building's full, and the hooting and hollering is good. Good crowd to play.
What was the toughest team? I mean, Joel talked about the Colorado Rockies, Jacques. What was the toughest team that you had to play goal for?
You know, it was pretty difficult when you're in Buffalo. You know, I think we won only 18 games that year. It was a pretty difficult year, but you know, you go through some tough moment and really help, especially your coaching career.
Well, you don't have to deal with situations like that here. But guys, thanks for coming in, and we appreciate it, and keep us up to date on the St. Louis thing. Good luck with the meeting tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Jacques Cloutier and Joel Quenneville. When we come back, the coach is coming back. We're going to look at the upcoming games, plus our fan feedback question of the week, and the answer to our Av Stumper: who is this little hockey guy? Who does he belong to? The answer when we come back. Stay with us. Today's player guest receives a special gift certificate courtesy of Lawrence Cavell. Lawrence Cavell, the finest in men's and women's designer clothing and accessories since 1967. Located at 225 Steel in Cherry Creek North.
Hi, I'm Bob Johnson from Inglewood, and I'd like to know what kind of holiday resolutions Mark Crawford has this year.
Well, that's a great-looking hat, Bob.
Very timely hat.
But, you know, quite seriously, this year I'm really going to plan to work very hard on being a kinder, gentler Crow. I want to be a guy that doesn't take bench penalties. I want to be a guy that doesn't yell at referees. I want to be a guy that's kind to all the people in our neighborhood. I help little old ladies cross the street and bake cookies for the church. You think they'll buy that to them?
No.
You don't?
No.
They probably.
But it was good in theory.
It was. We tried.
There we go. We told you this would be an emotional show.
Yeah.
All right, the answer to our Stumper question of the week. Who is this little guy? Well, that is 3-month-old Mitchell Sakic. Our first look at him, Joe had him out at practice. Actually, that was the Avalanche Christmas party.
It was a Christmas party.
And we understand he's already developing a wrist shot.
Joe wants him to be a golfer, though.
He's smart.
He's a smart guy.
Re-injuries.
There's his wife, Debbie.
That's pretty smart. All right, that video, as we said, came from last week's Avalanche Christmas party. Big day next week, Saturday. Broncos in the afternoon. You guys play Philly at night. Yeah. Fans should be rocking.
They really should. We hope that they're in a great mood after a real emotional Bronco win, and they come right over and watch the great game against Philly next Saturday night.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. We'll see you next year.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Mark Crawford's wardrobe courtesy of Lawrence Cavell. Lawrence Cavell, the finest in men's and women's designer clothing and accessories since 1967. Located at 225 Steel in Cherry Creek North.
Avalanche Alert with Mark Crawford is sponsored by your Colorado GMC dealers. GMC, official truck of the Colorado Avalanche. And by Eagle Hardware and Garden. More of everything.